Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we have got ourselves, of course, AlphaStar, but this one a little bit extra exciting as we have got a Grandmaster player gonna be taking on the AI. There's gonna be a lot more GMs and high-level players towards the end of the series, but for now, every now and then I'll click on a replay which has a Grandmaster in it. So the GM Protoss taking on AlphaStar in a PvP. Now AlphaStar has got a very, very good PvP build that we've seen time and time again for the most part, and usually it involves the AI just going for a one-gate expand, and the Grandmaster player trying to basically cheese out and kill AlphaStar to varying degrees of success. So we'll see how well this is going to work out for AlphaStar. I'm 90% sure this is the build that it'll do. And yeah, let's just take a look-see here. Everything seems to be pretty normal. PvP, the meta's developed a little bit. In the latest patches of Starcraft 2, there is like the shield battery overcharge and stuff, which, if anything, just makes the one-gate expand stronger. So I do think that it's a very good build. I've tried it in my own ladder games and stuff, and I really do enjoy that. AlphaStar bringing down 2 probes for some reason, blocking its own Nexus. I guess that probe just needed help putting up that Nexus, which is understandable. A Nexus is pretty large. But interesting probe placement from AlphaStar. Maybe worried about cannons or something like that, or just to throw up a pylon. Yeah, that's kind of interesting if we look at what that probe was doing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, seeing as how we've got none other than 22 probes on the map, let's try and hit 22 likes on this video. If we can blow that out of the water, it would be greatly appreciated. 22 likes for a Grandmaster should be pretty doable. And of course, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and slap that subscribe button. Yeah, we're trying to hit 10,000 subs by the end of the year, and you get daily StarCraft 2 content, so it's a win-win. Now, AlphaStar decides to throw up its Stargate, the usual follow-up to this, then making an Adept, whereas the Grandmaster player just going for the Gateway Sentry opening, and probably going to be throwing up his own Nexus behind this, which I really don't mind at all. I mean, the Nexus, it's about 60-odd seconds, so a full minute behind AlphaStar's Nexus, which is quite a while. But at the same time, it's not that long. It's quite a bit, yes, but it's not super duper long. I mean, we don't see it too much in PvP, but in TvP, for example, one Terran will often go double gas, the other won't, and so the CC timing won't necessarily line up with each other, but it'll still work out. And so yes, AlphaStar is getting a little bit of a head start on the probe count, but the GM player could very well turn this into a nice macro game. The Adept is going to shade in for AlphaStar. Good wall from the Grandmaster. Stalker going to work away on the Adept. Should be able to kill that off, no problem. And if we do take a look now, the Grandmaster player, interestingly enough, decides to throw up a Forge. So going to be wanting to get out a very quick +1 attack. The Stalker does clean up that Adept, by the way, which is nice. The Sentry just hanging out. Where's the Adept for the GM? There's the Adepts. So the GM player playing a bit of an interesting build. Going for 2 Adepts behind this, so some harassment. And then just making sure he gets a Scout with the hallucinated Phoenix. And yeah, everything looks pretty darn good here. AlphaStar is going into the Phoenix play behind this that the AI does tend to like. Now, I'd like to see more players go up against AlphaStar in Phoenix versus Phoenix, because the AI doesn't have the best understanding of some things, so yes, it uses the Phoenix rather well, but when it comes to understanding like the situations which you can take a fight in, I'd really like to see someone try and challenge the AI in like Phoenix versus Phoenix on even economy, play the same more defensive style, see how the AI handles just so much stagnant time. Taking a look, 2 Stalkers warp in to try and shoo the Phoenix of AlphaStar away. Looks like the Phoenix do end up getting a couple of probes though, so nicely done. Shield battery not able to heal that probe enough to save it from the dreaded Phoenix. The 2 Adepts, however, are counterattacking for the Grandmaster player. Problem is though, there is a Phoenix, so one of these Adepts should be lifted, and so they can no longer one-shot the probes. and that basically means the shield battery going to be able to get some good heals off. A little bit of harassment going down on both sides of this game. The Adept will end up getting cleaned on up, all the while AlphaStar just flying around with its Phoenix, doing its thing. The Grandmaster player is getting up his +1, however, getting up a Twilight Council, so probably going to be going into Blink as the response to the Phoenix. And I honestly wouldn't mind a third base going up soon for the GM player. He's got to be careful, though. AlphaStar is thinking about lifting up one of these Stalkers, but oh, not quite going to make that happen. AlphaStar actually ends up losing a Phoenix, which is quite a nice pickoff for the Grandmaster player, because Phoenix are very, very tanky units. Like, they are absurdly strong, so getting one of those is always nice. AlphaStar really testing the waters, trying to lift up units, but flying a little too close to the sun is those Phoenix. Now, AlphaStar is going to be getting up a Stargate, and yeah, an extra Stargate, third base, so going to be going ham on that Phoenix production, it seems, but then also adding in the Immortals. It works out quite nicely for the Protoss doing this, because it basically allows AlphaStar to basically go free reign on the Phoenix, then the Immortals will counter the Stalkers. So we do see the GM player getting up the Templar Archives. Archons are very good against both, or they're pretty good against Immortals. They're not bad against Immortals, I'll say. And then, of course, they're excellent against Phoenix, since they're very hefty boys, and Phoenix can't lift up Archons. Now, things are getting a little bit concerning for the GM player. You may recall about a minute ago or so I said it would be nice to see the GM get up a third base. We haven't seen that get started, but AlphaStar's got its third finished up. We see AlphaStar just going up and up in the numbers. Once again, AlphaStar showing us that it doesn't have the best understanding of engagements with the Phoenix. It basically just tries. It tries whatever it can with the Phoenix, we're seeing, like trying to lift up a unit, and then it's got no problem just canceling that. We do see the third now going up for the Grandmaster player, which is good, but oh, this is not good. Losing Stalkers, losing Sentries to these Phoenix. And interestingly enough, the GM player actually has just completely forgone Blink. And so now he's going to be losing Zealots. He doesn't actually have that many Stalkers. Like, he's just got 3 Stalkers. He's going to morph in an Archon or 2 to help deal with these Phoenix, and they definitely will. But these Phoenix really are getting some value for AlphaStar. 12 probes going down. A couple of Stalkers. The Sentries going down is all very big. The GM player just seems to be focused on going for a big +2 timing attack against AlphaStar. But, oh, I don't know. AlphaStar is just up so much supply, has got 4 Immortals, shield batteries at the third. I do not think this attack is going to have a hope in hell of working. So while the GM player didn't just try and cheese AlphaStar off the back of its greedy opening, the GM player did not just try and play a straight up macro game. Instead, he kind of boxed himself into a corner by delaying his third so much, not dealing with the Phoenix by getting Blink. And if we take a look, it's now 40 supply with +2 against 70 supply with shield batteries to support. So, I mean, the GM player can definitely try. The Archons will do very well against the Phoenix. But look at all these Immortals. They're just going to put out so much damage. The Phoenix can lift everything but the Archons. And Archons alone are not good enough against Immortals. And so the GM player is just going to fall flat on his face. Looks like a very, very solid game from AlphaStar, as it's just shutting down the Grandmaster's attack, double the supply, the third base is up. AlphaStar laughing all the way to the bank and just build more and more Phoenix. 17 Phoenix. When's the last time you saw 17 Phoenix in a match? I love seeing a lot of Phoenix in PvP, but man, has it been a while. A Dark Shrine on the way for AlphaStar, just the icing on top of the cake, saying, hey, wait a second, you don't actually have an observer. And yeah, the AI just building that immortal count. It's just Immortals and Phoenix all the way down. The Grandmaster player is going to try another attack off the back of his very pitiful economy. But if the first one didn't work out, you can pretty much bet that the second one is not going to work out. He throws up a pylon so he can reinforce. But like, there's 6 Immortals. Popping the Guardian Shield for good measure. I mean, one of the Immortals almost goes down. The Phoenix can't help out against the Archons, but yeah, it's just not what you want. I think if the Grandmaster player had sat back, built up a better army, he would have won out. against the AI, which was just massing up Phoenix, because Phoenix are not good in the late game. And Alpha Star, it basically just relies on just making those Phoenix. And then the human tends to play into Alpha Star's hand, whereas if you knew you were playing against this iteration of Alpha Star, I'd say just sit back, turtle up, absorb the losses. Eventually the AI is just going to build up Immortals and Phoenix, which, while is an okay composition, it's not the best composition. If the Grandmaster player had attacked in with, say, 8 Archons instead, that would have been huge. I mean, Blink Stalkers as well, or more Zealots, and eventually that Archon Zealot composition would become better than just Phoenix Immortal. It is kind of funny how Alpha Star does decide to throw up 2 Dark Shrines, by the way. Saying, alright, yeah, gotta have those DTs. Alright, welcome into the second game, as I forget that I've already done one. It is a Master's Terran in the top right. AlphaStar just bopped the Grandmaster, so it's time for the young apprentice master to come out and try and basically beat AlphaStar, which is a protoss. So AlphaStar's protoss versus Terran is always interesting. There's nothing super unique about it, I'll say. I mean, yeah, compared to like AlphaStar's like ZVZ or ZV, really anything, it usually goes for like a roach timing attack. AlphaStar's TVP makes a lot of Banshees, DVZ makes Banshees, a lot of siege tanks, things like that. AlphaStar's Protoss against Terran, a little bit harder to put a pin on as to what exactly it's going to do. So I'm excited to cast this match. New Repugnancy is the map. And yeah, we'll just see what you gonna do. What you gonna do, son, against AlphaStar. Early Probe Scout is one of the things that the AI does do when it's playing Protoss. Always, always, always. Then gonna be going for the good old 1 gateway expand. AlphaStar gets that Nexus up ASAP. Then get probes into that gas, and yeah, interesting. I've been noticing AlphaStar, when it plays Protoss, it sometimes derps about with its probes a little bit. Like, why did it just rally that probe down there, then pull it back? I don't know. That's a good question. And now let's take a look. A Reaper is on the way. The Masters player is going to be just going for the usual Reaper expand. AlphaStar's got the Cyber Core on the way. And yeah, we'll wait to see what we're gonna see. DCC. Alright, the reactor's on the way. Bunker popping on up for the Terran player, which is something that I really enjoy seeing. You cannot get a bunker soon enough when playing Terran against Protoss, because if you have your command center canceled or delayed, it's just game over 99% of the time. And for some reason it took Terrans like 8 years to figure this out, that building a bunker all the time is just fully worth it. Because Terrans would always be like, in the past, they'd be like, oh, building a bunker's not worth it. I haven't seen anything that tells me I need to build a bunker. It's like, who gives a darn if you've seen anything? Just build the darn bunker. As, for years we'd just see pro gaming Terrans that would just be like, I mean, yeah, they'd do exactly that. I haven't seen anything that makes me have to build a bunker. And then something would show up that makes them wish they had a bunker. And the Terran would just hate life. AlphaStar saves the probe, nicely done. One of the probes did die. I believe that was the scouting one, though. The Reaper goes down. The Reaper had not seen the Stargate, so that's a mystery for the Terran player. AlphaStar going for an Oracle play. And AlphaStar now going to move across the map with its Adept and Stalker. Terran player is going to be glad he built this bunker. Then he's going to have this Widow Mine popping out. We'll see if AlphaStar is going to eat a mine shot, whether it be on the Oracle or on any of these units. More Marines popping out. AlphaStar just rallying a couple more units to the front, and then the Oracle's probably going to go in at the same time. Phoenix on the way. Following that up. And then, yeah, I guess Phoenix are one of the defining traits of AlphaStar's Protoss play. Definitely in PvP. Medivac's on the way for the Masters player. Terrans do not like to have the Widow Mine sitting on their side of the map for too long. The Oracle flies on in. Is it going to fly into this Widow Mine? The answer is no. Good knowledge there. Never mind, I totally jinxed it. I thought the AI was doing a good job avoiding that mine, but turns out it wasn't. And now the Terran player doesn't have to worry about that Widow Mine, so he can basically just load these bad boys on up into this Medivac, but he's probably going to have to turn those around, seeing as how he just flew right over these units. The Widow Mines are going to burrow. What they'll hit, that is the question. The Stalker and Phoenix do avoid those mines. Yeah, that Medivac's going to need to go home and be healed on up. Bit unfortunate for the Terran, flying right into those units. AlphaStar behind this, getting up the Robo, getting up the third base. Sub 5 minute third base, so decently timed for the protoss. And then the Terran player just getting up his barracks, so going into the 3 racks play. Making a Raven as well, which I really like if you're someone who's died to a lot of DTs, who hasn't really scouted too much of what his opponent's doing. It's not a bad idea. Gonna have to be careful when this Raven does pop out though. Ravens tend to fly forward. If you're playing against Phoenix, that can be a bit of a pain. Widow Mine hits the Phoenix, gets the kill. Nicely done. Good placement there from the Masters player. Not letting those Phoenix get damage done just for free. All the while, there's +1 on the way for the Masters player, so it's probably going to be looking like a bit of a push from the Masters player. A mid-game push against AlphaStar. And this is looking like it could be pretty strong. The AI is just making Phoenix, which aren't going to really cut it against a mass Marine push. The mines as well, also good. The +1, the Raven as well. These Adepts shade on into the natural base. That was a bit of an overcommitment from AlphaStar, losing those 2 Adepts really for naught. Phoenix production still on the way. The Phoenix haven't gotten really enough damage done to justify their existence, I'd say, yet. Not that I'm ruling it out that they won't be able to. As there's still no turrets in the main base for the Masters Terran, and this could bite him in the butt a little. He was wanting to commit to getting up his production, getting out a decent number of units, and now he's starting to take some damage to these Phoenix. SCV's running about every which way, but just gonna have to go back to work, accept the losses, try and build workers to get out of that. Widow Mine hits a Phoenix, but in the end does get picked off. So AlphaStar at least gets that compensation. And right now, if we take a look, the Terran player, he's just basically on 2 bases. The Phoenix are really keeping him pinned. AlphaStar is going for that Phoenix Colossus composition. That's what the AI is known for. I was totally drawing a blank on that one. Yeah, Phoenix Colossus, pretty darn good against Terrans. So AlphaStar really liking its Phoenix in this video. And the Marine's going to try and shoo away the Phoenix. But the problem is for the Terran player, AlphaStar is just making this guy make Marines. The Terran's like, oh, there's Phoenix, I gotta make Marines, and then all of a sudden it's just like one Colossus swipe comes across and just melts them Marines like they're made out of butter. Medivac could be exposed, Marines getting lifted up. This is just not going well for the Masters player. A minute or so I said that the Phoenix haven't really got enough damage done to justify their existence. Well, they are now. And oh my lord, the Terran player has had enough. He says, all aboard, pull the boys, it's time to go. All right, kids, get in the car because we're going on a trip, says the Masters player. Terran players have not changed their strategy since 2013, pulling the boys. The Raven's gonna try and disable the Colossus, but oh, it gets picked off. No! That is a disaster for the Masters player. If he was able to disable the Colossus that are out, he could have potentially just stemmed forward and won the game, but without that, the Colossus is gonna put out a lot of damage, and it's not gonna be good for him. The Colossus is actually up at the 4th base, so AlphaStar with its rapid expansion has really spread itself out. This Colossus on the front that just popped out, not getting killed off just yet, but there it goes, it dies. The funny thing is though, there's actually such a low amount of bio for the Masters player that is just getting cut up. He's gonna try and dive on top of the Colossus, but there was actually just like no bio there. The Terran player pushed across the map with 25 Marines and 4 Marauders. And 48 SCVs. That's not enough bio to make this happen. And so AlphaStar, textbook control of the game, baiting the Terran into a very bad spot. I didn't even see the AI casually sneaking up a 4th base. Very, very cheeky. Well played by AlphaStar. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this boppening, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't. Trying to hit the 10K mark by the end of the year. and something like 70% of the viewers, you guys watch the AlphaStar vids but aren't subscribed, so please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Discord, which is linked in the description down below. If you do want to get various perks, and yeah, consider becoming a member. That's linked in the description too, or use the join button. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is LaughNgamez. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.